Hi, boys and girls. We're getting ready to do lesson 7 for math, and we're going to be talking about how we can demonstrate the commutative property of multiplication and how we practice skip counting with objects in array models. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is get your whiteboard. You're going to need your whiteboard, which is a piece of paper, white paper that's inside a slipcover that was in your binder. And you need that and a dry erase marker and something to wipe your whiteboard off with. It can be an eraser, it can be just a cloth or a paper towel, anything that will wipe off the marker. All right, so we want the long side horizontal. Horizontal means it's going across, so we want the long side horizontal. And we're going to draw an array that shows 4 rows of 2. So we're going to draw our dots. So we want 4 rows. I'm going to make my 4 rows, and I'm going to start counting with this 1, and I'm going to add 1 more to make 2 in each row. Okay? Now, we want to skip count to find the total. So we're going to write our skip counts off to the right here. So how many do we have in the first row? We have 2. If we skip count by 2s, now we have 4, 6, and 8. So the total that we have is 8. Okay? So what we did is we took 4 rows times 2 in each row and got our total of 8. Now, we want to turn your whiteboard so that the long side is vertical now, vertical going up and down. What happened to your array? Now it has 2 rows of 4. So now instead of the 2's being in rows, now the 2's are in columns. And it should look like this, right? So we have our 2's are in columns. Columns are going up and down. It's a vertical part of the array. And that's one of our vocabulary words we want to concentrate on for this unit is column. It's this up and down, okay? That's a column. Now let's skip count our rows by 4's. So if we have 4 in the first row, 4 more, if we skip count, will give us 8. What do you notice about these 2 arrays and these 2 multiplication equations? They are the same, okay? 4 times 2 equals 8 is the same as 2 times 4 equals 8. Did the meaning of these 8's change? No, the meaning did not change. We still have 8 in our array over here, and we have 8 in our array over here. It's how they were being showed. This, boys and girls, is called the commutative property of multiplication. Everybody say commutative. That's right. It's a hard word to say. Okay? So that means that the factors, which is the numbers that we multiply, can change places and the total stays the same. All right? Let's try the same thing. We're going to turn our board again. We're actually going to keep it this way. We're going to keep it vertical, the long side vertical. So the long side is going up and down. And we want to show 8 rows of 2. So I'm going to start by making my 8 rows. And then I'm going to make sure I have 2 in each of those rows. Okay? Now we're going to skip count to find our total. 2, count with me, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So we had 8 rows times 2 in each row, which equals 16. Now, we can turn our whiteboard and do the same thing. We can make 2 rows, and you can see it right here. We can make 2 rows times 8 in each row. And let's see if that gives us the same thing. Now we could skip count by 8s. 8 and 16, sorry. 8 and 16. We got the same total. So 2 times 8 equals 16 is the same as 8 times 2 equals 16. The only thing that changes is where our factors are. We still end up with the same total. Boys and girls, you're going to move on to your problem set now for lesson 7, and you're going to work for 10 minutes. Set a timer, work for 10 minutes, and do your very, very best.